Mr. Corbyn, sir. Hello. Can I talk to you about some political events, political issues? Wonderful.
Climate change is a lie. There's no climate change.
I wanted to...
It's a lie. Well, yes, but it's
Well, not because of carbon dioxide. It's an interesting thing. The Earth's axis has changed slightly.
all bollocks. It's
Okay.
changing all the time. There's loads of conspiracy theories. People are talking nonsense to get your hits on the internet.
I just want to ask you actually something that's a little bit off your normal conversation about climate. What are your thoughts and your impressions of the first few months of the Labour government with Keir Starmer?
Oh, well, he's a monster, and he's probably even worse than we thought he was going to be. Some Tories said he'd be worse than them, which seems to be the case. But of course, if the Tories were there, they'd be doing the same thing, because the World Economic Forum would be, and the Israeli lobby would be forcing them into this same stuff. So we have a game every election. There's a circus to keep people in the circus.
Recently, I saw a Change.org petition about 15, I think it was pay per mile that Keir Starmer will be introducing apparently. Is that true? And also, how would you be opposing it if that is the case?
Well, yes, they would produce it, just like the Tories would produce it as an alternative to ULEZ, ultra low emission zone, which only goes to older vehicles. My answer to all those things is drive at will and do not pay.
Because you've been quite vocal about the ULEZ introduction to ULEZ with Sadiq Khan. Recently, actually, there was an article about the fact that his introduction of ULEZ has not changed the air quality of London in any significant way whatsoever. So, was this all just a money-making scheme, or is this a pre-planned scenario of establishing effectively putting the ULEZ cameras in for the coming pay per mile event?
Yes. The reason for ULEZ is to make money, yes. It is to impose control. The passport for it is supposedly cleaner air. That is a lie, because we've shown statistically, like with careful studies done in Glasgow when they introduced one of these schemes, was it makes the air quality worse, because vehicles travel greater distances in order to avoid these zones. So it's a nonsense. And furthermore, if they care about pollution in the atmosphere, microparticles, they should clean up the tubes. The tubes are 40 times more polluted than the ordinary air by the roadsides when it comes to microparticles from diesel and that type of size.
So, if you were, let's say, if you were king for the day of London or Britain, what systems or what schemes or what policies would you put into place in order to make sure that in the future we have cleaner vehicles, cleaner air, or generally reduce the emissions? That is, generally, you do agree that cars do produce emissions and smog and smoke.
Well, emissions are produced by many things. First thing I'd do if I was in charge is cancel every single green policy, all of them. They're ruining the economy. That would make Britain more prosperous in one day. The second thing, on pollution from vehicles, if you want to tackle pollution, then you tackle pollution. You don't just charge people money to pollute or make zones to stop them moving around. The answer is better catalytic converters, insofar as that is a problem. However, let's be clear, London air is cleaner now than it's ever been for 2,000 years.
Of course, yeah, because of the Industrial Revolution, but of course then we were using coal and far more polluting. Yeah, exactly. But we were using far more polluting sort of fuels.
Well,
is there
coal in their homes?
Is there an option to move away from internal combustion engines? Is that a viable path?
No, it's not. The diesel engine is the most efficient way of converting oil energy into moving kinetic energy in a vehicle.
So there's no foreseeable future of no combustion engine sort of like this Elon Musk's, like the Tesla cars or electric cars.
There's not enough lithium or anything in the world to make everything electric. The electric vehicles are extremely inefficient. They're produce 3 times more CO2 per mile than a normal diesel, because if you have to have to produce the electricity in a power station and then put it in a battery, and there's discharge and discharge losses.
It's just some people argue that using fuel or diesel even to generate electricity is a much more efficient form of converting that energy into electricity than it is for an internal combustion engine to convert the diesel into kinetic energy. Is there any basis for that?
People know, they don't know any physics.
No, there's no basis for that.
No basis.
It's just that I've heard
Any heat engine it can't be more than 40% efficient or so, because of the temperatures involved. The efficiency of a diesel is obtained though by a very high burning temperature from the compression, which can be thousands of degrees, right? The reason why electric vehicles are so inefficient is because, as I said, you've got a two-stage issue. You've got a power station, which is about 40% efficient, converting oil power or coal power into electricity. And then you've got the vehicle itself, where some more losses, typically 50% at top power, if it's to get the most energy out of a battery. So you can have half of 25%, it's about 12% efficient, whereas a diesel could be 50% efficient.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. I don't want to take up your time. I'll be honest, I could talk to you all day about a whole bunch of other things. But thank you anyway. Thank you, sir. Thank you.